for your education. And we're very lucky to have here Dr. Sujit from Bangkok Pattaya Hospital. He's got so many qualifications. It could be, here is Dr. Sujit up the front. Yes, thank you. I could spend the next 10 minutes just talking about his qualifications. He has a Bachelor of Medicine from Chulalongkorn. He did his residence in cardiothoracic surgery there. He also had a fellowship in cardiac surgery in Portland, Oregon. From 1994 to 2001, he was chief of the cardiac surgery unit at the Police General Hospital. Followed that by cardiovascular surgeon at Bangkok Heart Hospital, Bangkok Phuket Hospital, Bangkok Hospital Phuket. And from 2011 to the present, the medical director of the Heart Centre of Bangkok Hospital, Pattaya. So, if you are ever going to have a heart attack in your life, do it now. All right? He currently belongs to the Heart Association of Thailand, the Society of Thoracic Surgeons of Thailand, the Royal College of Surgeons of Thailand, and the Society of Organ Transplantation of Thailand. Now, he especially wanted to come today to introduce you to this wonderful AED machine. He's going to demonstrate it, etc. A little bit later. But also I said to him, why don't we give a general talk on what happens to you when you have a heart attack? So Dr. Sujit, please welcome and take over.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. It's my great pleasure to be here to have a little talk. I would not get serious, deep on the medical information, but what I want you to know is how you detect and how to save your life. Okay, I will not get through all the theory that what's going on in medical textbook. All right, so what is heart attack? Okay, from the statistic, as you know, heart attack is the first cause of death in America. But unfortunately in Thailand, it's the second or the third, because as you know, Thailand, we have a lot of traffic accident. That is the major cause. But despite all that, I would say heart attack or heart disease is the major cause of disease, not accident in Thailand as well as in America. Okay, that is why you need to know how important is this, because this is the silent killers. Okay, you need to know why. You need to know the sign. What is the warning sign of you have heart attack, and how you respond to those signs. Okay. Heart attack also another name in medical term we call myocardial infarction. Myocardial mean heart muscles. Infarction mean is lack of blood and is dying. So that means the heart attack means your heart muscle is dying from what? From of the blockage of the artery to your heart. Your heart needs a constant circulation of blood and oxygen to keep it alive, keep it work. And the only function of the heart is pumping your blood to the other organs like the brain, kidney, liver, your legs, your arm. When you have heart attack, that means you have sudden blockage of the artery supply your heart. And then the heart stop moving, stop pumping, and sometimes we call arrhythmia or ventricular fibrillation, and this will come dead within minutes. Okay, any symptoms that is warning for the heart attack, as we show in this picture, the red area is the area that most people suffer from pain from the heart when you have it not inadequate but supply to your heart. It's like a pain, like you have a cramp in your leg when you sit for too long. The same as the heart. The heart is an organ who also have a pain sensation. When the heart lacks of oxygen, you will have pain. The pain will be sometimes starting from your neck, in your left chest, sometimes to your arm, to your armpit, sometimes to your fingers. And the kind of pain is called radiating pain. Radiating means is move. Like you have some electric move from one place to one place. And this is the most common sign of pain form we call myocardial ischemia. Ischemia means when the heart doesn't receive enough oxygen and you have ischemia. But ischemia for too long, it will get infarct, that means it's dying. You have multiple stages of lacking of the oxygen. The heart attack will be sudden. All of a sudden, you just have a chest pain. It's not like a gradually increasing. It's just sudden, severe. Sometimes you have sweating, pain like some people describe like a sharp knife stabbing into your chest. This is the pain of heart attack. Okay. But unfortunately, in some people, especially people who have diabetes, who high blood level sugar, and also some people who have poor control of diabetes may not have this sign. So if you have diabetes, sometimes it just happen without any symptom and die. So I recommend that people who have diabetes, the warning sign may be less than people who doesn't have. So you need to have your heart checked regularly. Make sure that you will not have heart attack. Okay. Chest discomfort is the most common. Like I said, it involves center of the chest. You can feel like uncomfortable pressure, squeezing, or sharp pain to your chest, to your left neck, to your arm, to your armpit. Okay, discomfort like on the upper body, and sometimes it can go to the jaw, down to the stomach. Some people confuse the heart attack or the chest pain as sometimes we call regurgitation, heartburn. Heartburn is not a heart disease. All right, heartburn is something that you have reflux in your stomach and the acid coming up into your chest. So don't confuse heartburn, it's not heart disease. So, but this heartburn may confuse with heart attack. So what you need to know is mostly chest pain may related to your exertion level. If you sleep on a flat after a big dinner, you may have pain in your chest. That may come from reflux or heartburn. But you have pain when you walk up the stairs, when you run or have a quick walk. That may become from a heart problem. So most of the pain from the heart, it occurs when you don't have enough oxygen, when you have on high exertion level, like you exercise, your heart pumping more. When your heart pump more faster, that means the body needs more oxygen. I think everybody knows the cause of the heart disease or heart attack. Smoking. Smoking is everywhere. Okay, so some people say one cigarette you smoke, you shorten your life for 8 minutes. You smoke one pack, you may shorten half day of your life. Okay, smoking is one of the major killers. High blood pressure. People who have high blood pressure maybe come from genetics, come from your family history, but you can induce yourself by smoking cigarette. When smoking cigarette, you have your high blood pressure. You eat too much salt, you have your high blood pressure. You work too much, you have more stress, you have high blood pressure. And those diseases also not cured. High blood pressure, once you have high blood pressure, it will be there. No medication in the world now can cure high blood pressure. When you start treating high blood pressure, you need always to have the medicine forever. Diabetes also the same. It's something that you cannot cure. Diabetes have this we call systemic disease at the moment now, because when you have high blood pressure, diabetes can destroy every organs. Okay, can destroy the artery to your brain, cause a stroke, make your eye get blindness, make your kidney function get worse, make your heart get worse, even your leg. Some people who have, we call diabetic ulcer, they have a chronic ulcer in their legs from diabetes because the circulation is not good. And I would say every minute in the world, one people who have diabetes lost their legs, because diabetes is also a systemic disease and can cause any problem to any organs, especially the heart. Okay, high cholesterol come from your habits, come from your intake, lack of exercise, eat a lot of we call processed meat like sausages, bacon, whatever, can cause high cholesterol. Heavy drinking also not a very strong factor of heart disease, but anyway, drinking you have consume a lot of alcohol. This will destroy mainly your liver, and your liver is the major organ to get rid of those bad cholesterol. Okay, obesity. Also, why I put it very last. I think people who are thin and think they are healthy. In my experience of doing heart surgery for almost 30 years, I can count less than my fingers operating on patients who are above 100 kilos. So obesity is one of the factors, but not the major one. The major one, I think the three top of this cause that can cause heart problem. Okay, what happens when you have heart attack? When you have those symptoms, you have pain in your chest, very uncomfortable. You don't think you have a heartburn. What you need to have urgent medical attention immediately, because time is precious. Time is precious. The sooner to the hospital, the higher chance that we can save your life. So, when you have heart attack, you need to pick a good hospital. You need to have a research. What hospital can treat your heart attack? Some of the hospitals, they don't have any equipment. You just go there losing your time, and they need to refer you to the next hospital. Like you need a hospital who have cardiac lab or cardiac catheterization lab that can do your angiogram immediately 24 hours. This is important. Some of the hospitals, they don't have one. If you go there, just wasting your time, they can just give you some medication we call thrombolytic to line up your clot. But this is not a gold standard. The gold standard is we call primary PCI. PCI means percutaneous cardiac intervention. That means you need to go to the place who have can put a catheter into your heart and make it open. This is important. You go to some place, sorry, we don't have, we can give you, we call thrombolytic. So you need to pick a good one. You can search which hospital in Pattaya or nearby, and then go to that hospital. Don't waste your time fooling around to the hospital that doesn't have this service. Primary PCI is an emergency percutaneous catheter intervention to treat STEMI, mean ST elevation myocardial infarction. Is kind of our medical terms, but STEMI, and if you diagnose of STEMI, which is an urgent in our hospital, we have a very special, I would say, pathway or every channel that once we diagnose of STEMI, which come from the simple EKG. Once you have that diagnosis, we have a special pathway that urgently do everything as fast as we could to send you to the cath lab. Okay, because as I said, time is precious. The shorter time, the higher chance of saving your life. The purpose of primary intervention, primary PCI is to reperfuse, to make your heart receive blood back as soon as possible. The more time consuming, that means the more muscle are dying from the heart attack. Some hospital doesn't have a cath lab, so this is what they do, thrombolysis. They give you some medicine into the IV and try to hopefully that those clots that block your artery get paralyzed and make blood flow. It can affect only 40 to 60% of the case. So a wrong choice. If you go to the hospital that doesn't have a cath lab, a wrong choice. But primary PCI give you more than 90% chance of cure or alive. The mortality is also a benefit from primary PCI. Okay, like I said, sooner is the better. If you go to our hospital very fast, we can make a very quick bypass channel to get you to the cath lab as soon as we can. Why? This is the number. If you go to the hospital, thrombolytic will give you, we call door to needle time, should be at least 30 minutes because this is simple. We just inject into your vein, that's it. It's simple. You can make it for 30 minutes. But we do this only in place that we don't have the cath lab. But if you have the cath lab, our golden period is 90 minutes. Okay? At our hospital, at Bangkok Pattaya Hospital, during the past 5 years, we are doing, we call acute MI or heart attack, around 300 cases per year. And our statistic, we can achieve less than 90 minutes, I would say 99%. Okay? But 90 minutes is not enough for me. Then I challenge my people, why don't you do 60 minutes? Okay, we're starting to challenge ourselves to bypass everything. And most important is our financial role is parallel to our treatment role. It's not in the way of our treatment. Once you go there, regardless of your financial problem, we will do it. Okay, this is important. We don't care. Once we have diagnosis of STEMI, we will do it. And then our financial department will talk to you later after we have achieved this 90 minutes. Okay. From my challenge, I have success about 50% of our case to do a primary PCI, or we call door to balloon time. Balloon means the balloon that open up the artery less than 60 minutes. We keep challenging ourselves. Okay. It is because time. Why this is important? If you see this number, if the door to balloon time exceeds 90 minutes, the chance of dying is higher and higher. That's why we try to keep ourselves very low. Our target is below 60. Okay. Last week, we have our doctors got an heart attack. We can do everything within 55 minutes. We call door to balloon time. So people around Pattaya, if you need help, we can go get you and bring you to the hospital. And we promise most of patients will have less than 90 minutes door to balloon time, because this is precious time. Okay, what we do with the primary PCI? Primary PCI, we will put a catheter to your artery in the groin, okay, and pass the catheter inside to your heart, and then we make the balloon with the stent. The stent is some kind of metal, special metal. Open up your artery and make the blood flow to your heart as soon as possible. That will revive your heart, precious heart muscle. Why? Humans, our body does never decide to have name called regeneration. Your heart muscles, when you was born, you may have, for example, 100 million cells of your heart muscles. You always have that until you die. When your heart size getting bigger, that means your muscle getting bigger. But the number of cells remain the same. We don't have power of regeneration. So that's why I call precious muscles. When your heart muscle dies, it dies. Okay, it's no way to come back. So you have certain amount of muscles to remain working for the rest of your life. Even 10 cells, it was something. So we try to revive or save your heart muscle as much as possible as soon as we can. This is something that can happen on the heart attack. As you see on the upper picture, this artery is totally gone from the block. And then within 90 minutes, we can make this happen. Same as this one. This artery is totally gone. Within 90 minutes, you revive your heart, reperfusion your heart, and make it. Okay? But in some case, PCI or the stenting may not work. So that's come to my service. My service is doing a bypass surgery. We call it CABG or coronary artery bypass. Just surprise, CABG or coronary bypass is the most common open heart procedure in the world. Why? Because heart disease is the most common cause of death, I would say, in the world. And coronary bypass surgery is the most common surgery for this kind of disease. We reserve the surgery only in case that stenting or PCI is not possible, or you have too many places that have blockage and maybe too risky in some case that you have, like at the junction between two big major branches. PCI is a kind of a tube stent. It doesn't decide to have something like a Y. It can go to both sides of the artery. In this case, you need to pick just one branch to make the PCI. In that case, you may compromise the other branch. Some case that we have designed with our cardiologist and decide, oh, this is not a good case for stenting, and they will send to us, to me, to do the bypass surgery. And bypass surgery, I would say at this moment for multiple disease like a 2 or 3 or 4 is still one of the gold standard of the treatment. You can have single bypass, double bypass, triple bypass, quadruple, or even quintuple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have done as many as 6 bypasses in the past. Okay. I would say a little bit about bypass surgery. In the old times, when I was a medical student, my teacher doing bypass surgery on a raised heart, that means we stop the heart. We use the heart machine, stop the heart, put the ice on the heart, and we do the surgery on the standing still heart. After 2 hours, when we finish, we bring the heart back to beat. But right now, not right now, I started this procedure since 1997. We do a surgery called off-pump bypass surgery. Off-pump means we don't use the pump, we don't use the heart machine. We do the bypass surgery on a beating heart. With special instrument, we can manipulate the heart without stopping the heart, and we can do it. I would say, in my experience, I have done this procedure for 20 years without stopping the heart. The benefit of off-pump or beating heart surgery is enormous. First, you don't use the heart machine. Heart machine is an artificial machine. You get a lot of blood destroyed in the machine. You get a lot of consequences, more bleeding, longer time of recovery. But with the invention of pump surgery, you have that benefit come back. And now, bypass surgery or open heart surgery doesn't scare me anymore. During the old time, when you say, oh, bypass surgery, you may scare to death. Oh, should I live? I will die. The old time, you may have a 10%, 20% chance of dying from open heart surgery. But with the off pump right now, the chance of dying from surgery is less than 2%. This is the worldwide number. So why? This is the most advanced thing that I think we have created. How to prevent ABC? Okay? This always comes first. Tobacco, smoking, cigarette. Okay? I have some joke. Keep smoking, you make me rich. Okay? Don't do that. Keep smoking, got a lot of money, and then you come for us. So if you don't want to make us rich, stop smoking. Okay? Otherwise, I will have big house. Don't do that. Okay? Smoking kills you. Okay? Be more active. A, B, and C is good nutrition. This is key. A, B, C. Tobacco, active, and good food. Okay? Important message. Remember, all the treatment of the heart disease or the heart attack that I mentioned, there is a no-cure solution for this disease. Even we do 4 stents, 5 stents, single bypass, quadruple bypass, not cure. The disease is still there. What we do is just buying your time, make you live longer. But if you go back to your bad habits, this disease will come back. There's no cure. Like a diabetes, no cure. High blood pressure, no cure. Heart disease, no cure. Same things. We just prolong your life, prevent you from sudden death. This is the message. Okay. If you after you have 5 stents, oh, I'm happy now. I can go back to smoke. I go back to what I want to eat. One day you come back. I have many patients. I have one patient who was very rich. He's top of some of the automobile industry in Thailand. did the bypass surgery back in Cemetery Hospital a few years ago. He stayed only a week in hospital because we do the off pump surgery. He was very happy. Then he go back to his bad habits. Party every night, smoking, many things, bad things that people, doctors say no, he did it. Because he thinks he's cured. I'm okay now, I'm happy, I have no pain, I'm very strong. So he back to do all his habit, drinking beer, everything. 2 years later, he have a major stroke and died. And it's expensive die. His family lost 5 million baht to keep him alive for a month in the hospital. Okay? Because when you have those the same family, heart attack, stroke, whatever, same family, just brother, sister, when it comes, the whole family comes. Okay, so be careful. And this is to remember, there is a no-kill solution for heart attack. If you have, you can prevent it, make it happen or make it longer until it happens for the next time. Okay? And one of the most scary things from the heart attack is sudden cardiac arrest, which happen about 20 to 30% of cases who have heart attack. You can hear some news. Oh, we have one people sudden death die out of the hospital. Everywhere, everyone, every day you can see something right on the street because of heart attack. And medical rescue arrive longer time than we expected. And those people die on the street. How we can help these people? You heard some people die during the golf course. Some people die during their exercise in the gym or just along the beach because they have heart attack and they have sudden cardiac arrest. And those people die. How we can save these people? This is a machine. It used to be a machine. In the old time, this machine we call cardiac defibrillator, which available only in hospital. But right now, they make this machine smaller and smaller and more portable. And we install this machine everywhere. Like when you go to Europe or America, you can see this sign, AD, in train station, on the bus, at the airport, in department store, everywhere. But in Thailand, very rare to see this. But we are going to that point. Because right now, AD is very cheap. Even you can see this machine on the airplane. 10 years ago, every flight to America need to equip with AD. This is the law for America. But right now, I think it's worldwide. 10 years ago, I bought on a plane, domestic plane, Thai Airways. I asked flight attendant, do you have AD in this machine? He said, what? They don't know. But if you ask a flight attendant going to America, yes, we have one. Okay, so this is very important. This is now accepted worldwide. Why? Heart attack and sudden cardiac arrest have a condition we call ventricular fibrillation. That means the heart is not pumping the blood. It's something like that. Fibrillation means fine movement without any output of the blood. And this causes sudden death. If you don't revive or help these people within 5 minutes, what happens? The brain. The brain is the most sensitive organs. When the brain doesn't receive oxygen for 5 minutes, the brain dies. The heart is not dying. You can revive the heart, and the heart can come back. But the brain finished. When the brain dry, you die. You cannot wake up, you cannot breathe. So why we need to this fast? Because we need to preserve the brain. The heart is a very strong organ. When I did my heart transplant long time ago, when they cut out the heart, the old heart they need to replace with a new one. The heart that they cut out, I put on some bowl. It beats by itself for hours, 1 or 2 hours. Because heart is very fantastic organ. It can beat without blood. So you can revive the heart, but not the brain. 5 minutes, your brain don't know oxygen. You have brain dead. Okay. So this machine can help you by resetting your heart rhythm, by giving an electric shock to your heart, make your heart beat again. And this AD machine is so wise. They have a program that will analyze when you put the pedal. We'll show you later. Put the pedal on your chest, and then the machine will tell you, don't touch the patient, and they're analyzing your heart rhythm. And if the heart rhythm that they analyze suitable for a shock, they will give you can shock. And you also need to learn how to do a good CPR or the chest compression. Because when you do chest compression, that means you help before AD arrive, because nobody carry AD with them all the time. You need to get AD from somewhere else. But when you witness a sudden cardiac arrest or sudden collapse, first thing is you need to do the chest compression, and you need to do a good chest compression. Okay, not like in the movie, just a few taps. No, you need a strong chest compression. Means you need to press the chest down at least 2 inches. If you just, it's not working. So we will have a course that teach you, we call the basic life support. And right now, AED was included in the basic life support program. 5 years ago, AED is nowhere. And at the moment, American Heart Association or even Thai Heart Association, we include this machine in our basic training program for people, non-medical personnel, people who want to know how to do adequate CPR. This machine will help and reset your heart rhythm back to beat. All right. I already mentioned about CPR. CPR, what does it mean? C means cardio, P means cardio means heart, P means pulmonary, means lungs, R means resuscitation, to bring back life. So people around you should know how to do CPR, because you never know who is next. Maybe someone, you, even me, someone behind, near you, your neighbors, wherever. CPR is the most effective way to save life. Okay, no matter what, CPR. But in some of the advanced countries, I just visit Germany. They have a special team we call ECMO. I haven't bring the slide. ECMO is kind of a portable heart lung machine. They can do the CPR for 10 minutes, and if it doesn't come back, they put the ECMO machine in, even on the road. They have we call eCPR now. eCPR means they have a team rush to the place that we have a witness cardiac arrest. After some kind of CPR it doesn't come back, they insert some tubes and start the heart lung machine, even on the street. This is more advanced. In Thailand, we're not reaching that point yet, but this is the basic that we need to have. It means basic CPR and then AED. Wherever you go, try to look for this sign. Okay, I think this is some of international sign. I think you can see everywhere. but not in Thailand. Thailand is coming. So myself, I would like to have one in my car and then get a sticker. You know what happened in Japan? In Japan, they used to have AED everywhere. You can see AED many places. And they say, oh, it's not working because people hard to reach. Right now, they put AED in Uber, in taxi. And whenever you have heart attack, you just open your application, push for help. The nearest Uber equipped with AED will come to you. This is the fastest way to go to save your life. Because AED is stationary on the wall. It's hard to reach. But if you have people who are trained with AED and they have AED keep moving the whole city, when you push the button, AED will come to you. Maybe 2 minutes because it's called Uber equipped AED. We may not have this one very soon. The other wise idea that I saw from the video is AED drone. Okay, they put it on a drone with camera, with speaker, and you just press your location and drone will fly to you. 100 kilometers per hour, landed. And with the camera, the people who control the drone will instruct you how to do it. This is future, but it's coming very soon. Okay, I hope that Thailand also AED will be very popular from now. Next, I will show you a slide. This is, I'm not making this slide, this slide from some school in America about how to save life. Okay.
Just moments after making the game-winning basket.
It will be at least a week before we know exactly what caused the sudden death of Hank Gathers.
This time it was 16-year-old Robert Garza.
It happens roughly 75 times a year in the United States alone.
A student collapses and dies on the court or field. When a tragedy like this happens, people often think there's nothing they can do. But there is. Immediate treatment before paramedics arrive with cardiopulmonary resuscitation or CPR and an automated external defibrillator or AED gives the victim the best chance at life. Sudden cardiac arrest can strike anyone at any age at any time.
Playing basketball in the gym and I just collapsed. I had no idea that I was at any risk and suffered a cardiac arrest. And luckily, thankfully, CPR was started right away, and I'm here today because of that. I ran out here and Tori was on the ground, and I just called 911 immediately.
Carrie Conger helped save Tori's life by starting CPR.
It took me a long time to come to terms with what I did. I still haven't completely. It's still a complete shock that this happened. Tori's such an amazing person, and not someone I would ever peg as someone who would have cardiac arrest, and not someone I would ever, I wouldn't see her walking down the street and go, she's gonna have cardiac arrest. I never thought that CPR would have to be used on me, and it saved my life, and I'm so grateful for that.
Tori was one of the lucky ones. It is estimated that more than 95% of sudden cardiac arrest victims die before reaching a hospital, resulting in approximately 250,000 deaths each year in the U.S. Only 1 in 4 patients in cardiac arrest receives bystander CPR. If CPR is performed, you can double or triple a person's chance of survival. Based upon the overwhelming support for early bystander and community involvement, the American Heart Association has revised their CPR guidelines to include hands-only CPR as the preferred method of resuscitation for the untrained bystander. In addition, there is an emphasis in the community to increase AED availability to ensure the likelihood of early defibrillation.
If you look at the curves that have been established for people's survival in this setting, what you find is only about 10% of the people will survive if they get shocked at 8 minutes. But if good chest compressions are started right away when the person goes down, you can alter that death curve, if you will, significantly, such that people will respond to electricity for quite a bit longer. And in fact, at 8 minutes, if CPR is started immediately, at 8 minutes, we have more like a 40 to 50% chance of saving someone's life.
Over the next 2 class periods, we will train you to become effective responders in the case of sudden cardiac arrest. You will be able to identify when to start chest compressions and how to perform them to ensure that they are high quality. You will be trained to use an AED and where to find the AED in your school. Finally, we will practice both CPR and AED use to ensure that any victims have the best chances for survival. Simply stated, cardiac arrest is when the heart is no longer pumping blood through the body. The victim is unconscious, not breathing, and has no pulse. If not immediately treated, the victim will most probably die. Cardiac arrest and heart attack are not the same thing. A heart attack can cause a cardiac arrest, but there are other causes. What you need to remember is, regardless of what caused the cardiac arrest, good skills and rapid treatment are the keys to survival. Remember that every second counts for victims of cardiac arrest, and at 10 minutes after collapse, they have a minimal chance of surviving. So do whatever you can do as fast as you can do it. The American Heart Association has simplified this urgency into the chain of survival. 1. Early access. Call 911. 2. Early CPR. Start chest compressions. 3. Early defibrillation. Use an AED. 4. Early advanced care. Paramedics. In most cases, paramedics can't respond and arrive at the patient's side quickly enough for the patient's sake. Now that AEDs are available to non-medically trained people, you can become a vital link in this chain of survival. New guidelines from the American Heart Association recommend hands-only or compression-only CPR for non-medically trained individuals. Fortunately, these recommendations make CPR much easier to perform and dramatically increase the likelihood of a response from bystanders.
It has significant benefits in a lot of ways. First of all, it's a much easier way to do CPRs. It's not that difficult to learn how to do it. You don't have to try to coordinate breaths and chest compressions, etc. The other thing is that large studies have been done that show that what causes people to be reticent about doing a resuscitation on a neighbor, loved one, or someone who just goes down in the public is that folks are afraid of communicable diseases. They don't want to have to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
This new guideline is recommended only for adults in cardiac arrest. It is not intended as the primary response for children or victims of drowning. When adding breaths to chest compressions is still recommended, although it is accepted that any effort is better than no effort.
Hey buddy, you okay?
If you witness someone collapse, immediately call 911 or direct someone else to activate the emergency response system by calling 911. Shake the person or rub their chest hard to get a response. If you do not get a response, start CPR immediately. Do not wait to check for a pulse. Position the patient with their back on the floor or ground. Place the heel of one hand over the center of their chest over the breastbone and place your second hand with fingers interlocked over the first. With your elbows locked, apply a downward force by falling into the patient so that the motion is directed from your torso and not your arms. High-quality CPR consists of 4 critical variables: depth of 2 inches, rate of 100, full recoil of the chest, minimal interruption. Most individuals can only perform high-quality CPR for 2 minutes before fatigue sets in. To ensure that your victim receives only high-quality CPR, you should switch providers every 2 minutes. Remember to coordinate the switch so that there is minimal interruption or no pause at all. The reason why these criteria are important is to ensure the forward progression of blood flow to the brain. By pressing 2 inches deep, we ensure that the heart pumps blood effectively. Full recoil ensures that the heart fills completely for the next effective compression. Studies show that a rate of 100 compressions per minute is ideal to ensure forward flow of blood to the brain.
It's difficult for some people to remember 100 per minute or figure out what that is unless they have a metronome. So what I usually say is sing the song by the Bee Gees. You know, da 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 da, staying alive, staying alive. If you sing it at the rate that they sing it, then that pretty much will pace you at 100.
It takes several compressions to get forward progress of blood to the brain, so any pause effectively becomes a loss of momentum and therefore makes subsequent compressions less effective. Remember, you can only help someone by performing CPR. Do not worry about breaking ribs or harming the victim of cardiac arrest. Studies confirm that minimal harm is incurred by individuals that require chest compressions, and the benefits of CPR are life-saving and worth the risk.
But at the very worst, you might break a rib or two. But on the other hand, if you save their life, they're going to be grateful for a broken rib.
The goal of high-quality CPR is to improve the patient's response to defibrillation or electric shock and maintain blood supply to the brain. CPR does not restart the heart, but will improve the likelihood of the heart responding to an electrical shock, which will help the heart start beating again. Remember that high-quality CPR directly improves an individual's potential response to a shock. If that shock is provided within 10 minutes of collapse, and high-quality CPR is started immediately, the individual's potential survival rate is dramatically increased. Without both of these interventions, the death rate is nearly 100%, so act quickly and activate the 911 systems immediately. Remember the 4 components of high-quality CPR. Depth 2 inches, rate of 100 compressions per minute, full recoil, and minimal interruptions.
So remember, staying alive. The rhythm of the song is 100 per minute. The other one, is like Star Wars, Imperial March. Also the rhythm is 100. Okay. You remember these 2 songs when you have the CPR. If you are young, maybe Staying Alive. If you're Star Wars fan, Imperial March. Alright? This is AED. AED is a small, have a battery inside. Some AED can charge for only 1 time, but some AED can charge for many times, and some of them are rechargeable battery. It's very simple. The AED have only 2 buttons. Okay? And this comes with a patch. When you open the patch, it's different of brand, but all the brand will have this picture. Okay, so you put this on where is the picture look. Okay, so you need 2 different places to put in order to have the electric pass your heart. For example, you put one on the right, one on the left, like this one, and the electric will pass through the heart and will reset the heart. When you open, turn it on with the green button.
From the patient's chest.
Remove cloth.
And apply pads onto patient's bare skin.
So this is all instructed.
Pads as shown in the pictures. Open packet and apply pads onto patient's bare skin.
Okay.
Apply pads as shown in the pictures.
Apply patch.
Apply pads onto patient's bare
But you will not give a shock.
You're not timing for this.
skin.
Oh my God!
Open packet and apply pads onto patient's bare skin. Apply pads as shown in the pictures. Open packet and apply pads onto patient's bare skin. Apply pads as shown in the pictures.
This is too old.
Open packet and apply pads.
Okay, I think that this is too old. But when you apply the patch, the machine will say analyzing rhythm. During this time, you don't touch the patient because if you touch, maybe it's not working. Sorry. And then the machine will analyze what is going on inside. And if after analysis, the machine say deliver shock, so you press another button is the red button. Okay, depends on machine. But most of the machines have only 2 buttons, so it's very easy to use and have a voice instructed. In Thailand, there are some versions that have in Thai language, but we don't believe you need it here. But most of the machines are speaking English and only 2 buttons. Very simple. But before putting AD, like I said, chest compression, you need to know we call high quality CPR, high quality chest compression, and mouth to mouth, keep the air is no longer needed. 10 years ago, the guideline is ABC. A mean airway. You need to get something out of the mouth to create the airway. B mean breathing, and then C is compression. After 2015, they changed the guideline to CAB. C mean chest compression or circulation. This is the most effective. The body doesn't require oxygen for the first 2 minutes because it's already inside. But the compression or the circulation, we need immediate compression, immediate circulation. This is how to save life. Okay.
Just before we go to questions and answers, Bangkok Pattaya Hospital, a great friend of the club, they are actually organising a workshop for free for 30 people, which you'll have to book into, and they're going to teach exactly this, how to use these things, what to do, how to do compression. So Tanya?
Yes, I'm Tanya, and I'm here on behalf of Bangkok Pattaya Hospital to invite you to participate in CPR and AED training. They will be organized this on Monday, 7th of May. The course will be started 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. But unfortunately, that at this course we will perform the CPR and how to use the AED. So we focus on this. That's why we can only accept for 30 people. So I will send the registration form to Richard and Rain to organize this, and you can reserve and book it from Richard and you. Okay, thank you very much.
So a huge applause for Tanya and Bangkok Pattaya Hospital for organising that. I did that as part of the first aid course last year, and it was fantastic, and I want to do it again. I want to be one of the 30, but this is just going to be specialising in compression and AED. So a question, huge round of applause for the doctor. Fantastic talk. And they are a great friend of the club, BPH. So questions and answers for the doctor.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you kindly for your presentation today. As foreigners in this country, frequently we are told, don't get involved, okay? Because you're going to be asked to pay, or they're going to want to have you in court or something. Is there a Good Samaritan law in Thailand to insulate people who try to help others?
You can call we have a number like 1619. It's like a primary medical response from the government that can go to you. But this is a problem in Thailand. I strongly admit that this is a problem, that if you give help to someone, you may involve in the legal matters. This is also that we try to reduce that. But anyway, I would say, I don't know, it's kind of something that you should do, and if you don't have a mind to kill them, you get out of that. Just if it happened to your father and nobody cares, it may happen to your next relative. So for me, I would say I will do it no matter what, but stay away from the accident. Okay? If you have a car crash and you try to help them, you may get involved. But if you see some people collapse on shopping mall, I think if you help him, you will have much appreciated with your help, not say you try to kill them or involved. I would say. But anyway, we try to have this education spread around the city and make sure that you will be very safe to help those people.
Doctor? Hi there. If we feel some early signs of possible problem with the heart and we decide to go to the hospital, what are the checks that the hospital will do to check the health of the heart?
The first is we do the EKG or ECG. We have some guidelines that people who come with chest pain, within 5 minutes, we will have to do ECG done. No question asked, just chest pain, ECG. And ECG, so see some abnormality, we alert the team. And within 90 minutes, you will have the whole thing done. Okay. Even we now have the ECG on our ambulance, and then from the ambulance we can send it to the cellular network. We have a machine that can connect to the cellular network, and then your ECG will appear in our hospital immediately, and we can have the doctor see and instruct during you are still on the ambulance.
Hi, could you just clarify that emergency number? You mentioned 1619 on the video we saw.
911 is in America, but in Thailand is 1669 is the 1669 is the immediate response for our medical worldwide. I mean, nationwide is from the government part, but for our hospital is 1719. If you want us, but as I told you, you need to have a research that which hospital nearby that have the facility of doing the primary PCI. But this is important. You may call them and then send you to, for example, Bang Lamung Hospital. They don't have one. Pattaya City Hospital, no. Maybe they are having one, but so you need to select. They have no, so they have AD, but they don't have the CAT lab for your primary PCI. So if you go to the wrong hospital, we're wasting your time. So this is important. If you have call them and you need to instruct them where you want to go, sometimes the right hospital is not the nearest hospital. Because not all hospitals have the CAT lab to do your primary PCI. It's important.
So if you, sorry, just to clarify, so if you're in the central Pattaya area, let's say Jomtien or anywhere around here, is it better to phone your hospital direct?
Yes.
Which is going to be the faster response, your hospital or 1669?
1669 is the general population, but Our hospital also have this service, which is different number is a 1719, and then we can send you ambulance doing whatever we have on the slide complete.
Thank you. Hello, doctor.
I've heard that it's recommended in America to take low-dose aspirin daily. Is this correct, and do you recommend it?
This is correct. Aspirin, if you have heart attack, you may get 2 or 3 pills of aspirin chewing. Make sure that it's absorbed quickly. It will help. Our protocol also, if you have heart attack, you have one of the protocol, we give you aspirin in the hospital, or we have another medication we call some kind of advanced medication doing the same job. This is important.
Yes. Okay, now, a few years ago I had one heart attack. Let's say I would have one again here. Let's say in my condo. My first thing to do would be call your number, okay? An ambulance would be coming. So then take maybe 3 to 5 baby aspirin, chew them up and swallow.
Yes, you can do while you wait.
Okay, so my chance of survival is a lot greater once the ambulance is there.
Exactly.
And they have the training, they have the AED device?
Yes.
Okay.
We in our ambulance maybe have a bigger one, not the portable. We have the full defibrillator machine.
Okay, so that would be the best steps to ensure my survival.
Yes.
That thing. Call
Yes.
immediately, take the baby aspirin.
Yes.
Don't do anything stupid.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, doctor.
Doctor?
Thank you, Doctor, for a very good presentation. I have consistently high blood pressure, very high, 180, 190 this morning even. I'm wondering what precautions I should take, tablets I should take, what I should do about that. I live a healthy lifestyle, I swim regularly.
You should definitely lower your blood pressure. This pressure is dangerous, and not only for heart attack. You may have a stroke, you may have something very serious, I haven't mentioned, it's called aortic dissection. That means your aorta or the main artery of your heart, sometimes it could not tolerate this blood pressure and get ripped off. And that also cause dying, or another one that is called aortic aneurysm. When your blood pressure high, the wall of your aorta is getting weak and it's getting bigger and bigger and can burst, rupture. So right now, the latest recommendation, you should to keep your blood pressure as low as 130. So 180, unacceptable. You need immediate medical consultation to bring your pressure down. You cannot leave it at 180. You may die from head to toe, or any disease.
Hello? The AED, can anyone buy it, and
Yes.
how much do they cost, and where do you buy it, please?
Depends on the brand. I think 50 to 80,000 baht. You can buy it, and they can provide you a training. You can keep it at your home, at your condo, or even I will buy myself and put in my car and put a sticker. Someone can stop me from AED.
Okay, Doc.
How about aspirin and dengue fever? Because aspirin is diluting the blood, but dengue fever can be also dangerous if the blood is flowing
You mean
too fast.
and what else?
Aspirin and dengue fever.
Dengue fever is talking about.
Dengue
fever.
Oh, dengue fever. But anyway, if you stay, I don't know, but if you stay away from mosquito bite, dengue fever, I think the chance of dying from dengue fever is less than chance of dying from heart attack.
Also, I think if you got hemorrhagic dengue fever and have a heart attack at the same time, I think you're pretty much gone.
Very lucky.
You're effed.
It's a double whammy.
I prefer aspirin. Thank you, fever is sometimes you can prevent.
A few more questions. We're going long, but obviously this is really important stuff. So.
Hello, doctor. If you've got kidney disease, they say do not take aspirin. Now, a baby aspirin, will that be okay?
No. I don't believe aspirin, we take very low dose, we call baby aspirin. It's only 81 milligrams. It doesn't do anything with the kidney. Okay. The aspirin that we took for headache is 325 milligrams. We don't take that much. Only 80 milligrams is work. And with the 80 milligrams, it will not hurt your stomach. Aspirin that now available, it has special coating and will dissolve not in your stomach, in your intestines. So it's not ripping off your stomach. But for emergency, like I said, you need to chew in your mouth to make it dissolve immediately. You don't take the whole pill because it will take another half an hour until you can reach the intestine.
I live on Nexoy 6, and I want to go, I'm feeling very woozy. I can barely walk. I want to go to Padia Hospital. Is it better for me to call 719 or just get a taxi nearby and just go in the taxi? Because I don't trust ambulances. They could be there on time.
I think ambulance can come really quickly. I don't know if depends on how serious is your condition. If you still okay, feel able to walk, you can go by taxi, but take your chance. I don't know.
How good is the ambulance service?
How good?
How
reliable?
Yeah, how long does it take them on average to get from the call to get the person back?
No more or less what will leave the hospital within 5 minutes. And then...
Are there enough ambulances to guarantee that?
We have plenty of ambulances.
Okay.
We have maybe, I don't know, 6, 7, 9 ambulances.
Okay, last question here, sorry.
In the United States, it's very common for patients to experience either stroke or heart attack at nighttime when body dehydrates, red blood cells concentrate, and that's when you tend to clog up. So is it recommended that you take your baby aspirin at nighttime before you go to bed?
Yes and no. Right now, the current recommendation, if you don't have any risk, like you don't have high blood pressure, you don't have diabetes, you don't have family history, sometimes taking aspirin is not helping and create more problem. So we will recommend aspirin only people who are at risk. Because aspirin, as you said, it causes more bleeding.
Okay, but nighttime is recommended.
Even nighttime, daytime, it has the same effect. You can take in the morning, you can take it in the evening, but at the moment now, if you don't have such risk, maybe you don't need one.
Okay, well, a huge round of applause for Dr. Suchit. So, and of course, we have our usual step forward.